For over 1,000 years, humanity has engaged in one of the simplest yet most lethal contests ever conceived, the duel. However, in early 19th century France, two men found the traditional take a few steps, turn, and fire routine far too ordinary. Seeking something more extraordinary, their rivalry led to a truly unique confrontation. In Napoleonic Paris, circa 1808, a renowned dancer from the opera house, the enchanting Mademoiselle Tyrvit, became the object of affection for two smitten gentlemen. Among them, Monsieur Grandpré went to great lengths to win her favor, even arranging for her to live in an elegant city apartment. Monsieur Grandpré's plans to win Mademoiselle Tyrvit's heart take an unexpected turn when he discovers he isn't her only admirer. Another suitor, Monsieur Lepic, has also been paying her visits at the very apartment Grandpré secured for her. Fueled by jealousy, Grandpré challenges Lepic to a duel, a no-holds-barred, fight-to-the-death affair. But this isn't to be an ordinary duel. No, these men decide to elevate their contest to something far grander and more daring. They will face off in hot air balloons high above the city of Paris. The goal? To not merely shoot at each other, but to shoot down the rival's balloon in a spectacle that combines deadly intent with breathtaking audacity. Clearly, Mademoiselle Tyrvit must be an extraordinary woman, as the outcome of this airborne showdown practically guarantees that at least one, if not both, of these men will meet a tragic end. Unlike the impulsive nature of most duels, this one is meticulously planned. Scheduled a month in advance, it seems designed to give them time to reconsider their perilous scheme. Yet, remarkably, neither man backs down, and the bizarre high-stakes confrontation becomes an inevitable reality. Despite having a month to reconsider, neither man wavers in his resolve. Cooler heads do not prevail, and the extraordinary duel is set in motion. On May 3rd, 1808, Paris gathers in the Tuileries Gardens near the Louvre, expecting nothing more than an entertaining hot air balloon race. But the atmosphere shifts as the crowd begins to notice the guns, and the reality of this deadly spectacle sinks in. This duel is no ordinary showdown. Unlike the typical practice of standing back-to-back and firing, this high-stakes confrontation takes place nearly 2,000 feet above the city. And in a twist of tradition, each duelist needs a partner, a second willing to climb into the balloon with them, fully aware they are likely to share the same fate. Such loyalty and friendship are truly remarkable, given the grim circumstances. As the balloons rise above the city of love, the crowd cheers, largely unaware of the impending violence. Once aloft, the duelists must adhere to the Code Duello, the strict set of rules governing duels. This isn't a chaotic shootout, it's a structured, deadly game of precision and honor. The stage is set, and the deadly dance begins, high above the unsuspecting city below. The Code Duello governs every aspect of a duel, including one critical rule. The challenger must give their opponent the first shot. In this case, Monsieur Grandpré, having issued the challenge, stands in his basket and watches as Monsieur Lepic takes aim, not at him, but at the large, floating target of his balloon. Despite having an entire month to prepare, Lepic's shot goes wide, missing both Grandpré and the balloon entirely. The tables turn as Grandpré now gets his chance. With Lepic standing helplessly in his own basket, clinging to hope that his rival's aim is as poor as his own, Grandpré fires. This time, the shot strikes true. The bullet rips through Lepic's balloon, causing it to deflate rapidly. Helpless, Lepic and his second plummet from the sky, meeting a swift and tragic end. A dramatic conclusion to their ill-fated competition for Mademoiselle Tyrvit's affection. In retrospect, this bizarre and deadly duel serves as a grim reminder of the lengths people once went for honor and love. Over the next century, dueling is gradually outlawed in most countries, putting an end to these fatal games. Yet the story doesn't end there. Remarkably, the concept of dueling evolves into something far less deadly. An international competition that celebrates skill rather than settling scores. By the early 1900s, dueling undergoes a remarkable transformation, evolving from a deadly ritual to a competitive sport. thanks to an ingenious invention. In 1901, French Dr. Paul de Villers revolutionizes the concept by creating the wax bullet, a projectile that allows participants to shoot at one another without fatal consequences. Thrilled by his invention, de Villers establishes a competitive pistol dueling club in Paris, and the idea quickly gains traction. Similar clubs spring up worldwide, drawing large crowds. Even New York gets in on the action, with a pistol dueling club staging dramatic matches in front of iconic venues like Carnegie Hall. However, the wax bullet, while safer than its lead counterpart, still poses risks. Propelled by gunpowder and traveling at high velocity, the wax bullets can still cause serious injuries. One celebrated pistol duelist, Walter Winans, famously shoots off part of his friend's hand during a duel. Undeterred, the sports enthusiasts simply add hand guards to their equipment rather than curbing the activity. The popularity of competitive pistol dueling reaches new heights, and in 1906, it earns a place on the Olympic program in Athens. This unlikely evolution from a life-or-death struggle to an international sport showcases humanity's ability to transform even the most dangerous traditions into competitive, crowd-pleasing spectacles. The inclusion of pistol dueling in the 1906 Olympics marked a bold step forward, but it came with caveats. Concerned about safety, the Olympic Committee opted to replace live opponents with dummies. Competitors were tasked with shooting at these targets from various distances, including 20 and 30 meters, with medals awarded to the most skilled marksmen. However, for the world's top duelists, shooting at lifeless dummies lacked the thrill of authentic competition. Determined to restore the sport's original spirit, they staged a dramatic exhibition in London 2 years later during the 1908 Summer Games to persuade the Olympic Committee to reinstate dueling with live opponents. The scene unfolds at the fencing area, where a curious crowd gathers. Two duelists emerge, clad in thick jumpsuits, helmets with goggles, and armed with pistols. Tension ripples through the audience as they wonder, is someone about to die at the Olympics? The duel begins. The two men square off, raise their pistols, and in a flash, shots ring out. One duelist takes a direct hit to the chest, and the crowd collectively gasps as he collapses. It appears as though they've just witnessed a fatality. But then, like a scene out of a miracle, the fallen duelist rises to his feet, unharmed. The secret lies in the protective gear and wax bullets, which, while dramatic, ensure that no actual harm comes to the participants. This extraordinary display leaves the audience both stunned and entertained, showcasing the evolution of dueling from deadly combat to an adrenaline-filled sport of skill and precision. The duelist rises, unscathed, and the crowd erupts in cheers. It seems as though competitive pistol dueling might become a staple of sports entertainment. However, history has other plans. With the onset of World War, the concept of shooting someone even with wax bullets suddenly feels inappropriate and in poor taste. The era of competitive pistol dueling comes to an end. While shooting sports fade from the spotlight, another strange and brutal duel emerges to capture the public's attention. This one requires no pistols, only bare hands. Enter the world of competitive power slapping, a spectacle that gives a whole new meaning to the term face-off. In this bizarre sport, two competitors stand toe-to-toe and take turns delivering the hardest slap they can muster, aiming to incapacitate their opponent. It's exactly as wild as it sounds. Muscle-bound men, roaring crowds, referees officiating the chaos, and spectators lining up to buy concessions. With every thunderous slap, the line between horrifying and hysterical blurs. The audience gasps, laughs, and cheers as contestants drop like felled trees under the force of a perfectly placed strike. As one announcer exclaims, "Tim drops the bouncer with one shot." The absurdity of it all becomes undeniable. Power slapping, with its mix of violence and absurd entertainment, takes the concept of dueling into a whole new, albeit slightly disturbing, realm. While it lacks the elegance of dueling's bygone era, it certainly doesn't fall short on shock value. So, how does slapping evolve into an organized sport? In 2017, promoter JT Tilley sees the potential for something big. He founds the Slap Fight Championship, turning this unconventional pastime into a structured league. By producing videos of these matches, the sport quickly gains traction, drawing in a global audience fascinated by its raw intensity. While it may appear chaotic, competitive power slapping is governed by strict rules. Matches typically consist of 3 to 10 rounds, with each round involving one competitor delivering a slap, followed by their opponent doing the same. The judges evaluate each round based on 2 key criteria: the damage inflicted by the slap and the recipient's ability to absorb the impact. The stakes are high. If a competitor cannot recover within 60 seconds of a slap, they lose by default. A more dramatic conclusion occurs when a slap hits so hard that the recipient collapses, requiring their spotter to catch them, a definitive knockout. The crowd roars as slaps echo through the arena. Moments like Neanderthal with a big shot on the Hulk create unforgettable spectacles, blending the absurd with the adrenaline-fueled drama of competition. Matches often end with explosive knockouts, leaving fans both stunned and entertained. However, this slap-happy sport doesn't escape controversy. Critics question the safety of such brutal confrontations, highlighting the potential for serious injuries. Yet, the growing fanbase suggests that for many, the thrill of the slap outweighs the risks, making power slapping one of the most unconventional and contentious sports of modern times. Not surprisingly, neuroscientists and medical professionals strongly oppose competitive power slapping, citing the significant risks of head trauma and other injuries. However, fans and supporters argue that it's no more dangerous than established combat sports like boxing or mixed martial arts. Despite the criticism, the sport's popularity continues to soar. By 2022, it reaches a new level of legitimacy when UFC President Dana White launches a power slapping league, securing official sanctioning from the Nevada Athletic Commission. What began as a viral underground phenomenon has transformed into a fully recognized and regulated sport in the United States. From slap-offs to wax bullets to dueling in hot air balloons, history proves that humanity never fails to find bizarre and unconventional ways to test courage, skill, and endurance. Whether for honor, entertainment, or sheer spectacle, these strange competitions remind us of our enduring fascination with challenge and rivalry.